State law recognizes transgender as protected, and so I was telling her if you're speaking about a transgender female, they need to be referred to as a female. Transgender male needs to be referred to as a male, and if there's any misgendering, we will ask if it's by any of the organizers. They will be asked to leave. There's no exceptions. If we're having problems in the audience, you know, we may give one warning. I'll be in there the whole time. So that's it.
Federal courts and then Vermont.
This is state law.
But you cannot impose a mandatory way of speaking or referring to someone.
This is treating people. This is under treating people with respect. If you're referring to a transgender female as a male, it is protected in the state of California.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you're having a great and wonderful day, and just getting close to that dinner. So hope you guys had a great lunch. Okay, so without further ado, we have some interesting stuff that's happening in California again, as always, because you know this is a terrible state. But granted, we see that we have this here, that the California Library silences female athlete's presentation for misgendering people in hypothetical situation. Riley Gaines reacts. So yes, we have, you know, this is a constant thing that happens with these far leftists, these transgender woke idiots, is that they always try their best to silence people and not really try to get anybody's point across at all, because you know silence is where you can't get your point across. It makes them seem to the right. Let's one thing's first, losers. Here's one thing you should probably do. Maybe you should just shut up, listen to the people, and maybe let your fifis get affected a little bit so you can understand some of what's really going on. Because again, you are also the same people who don't care about women's rights. You don't really care about women at all. You don't really care about what happens to society, because of course you don't care about little 10-year-old Maria just going down there, getting great for whatever reason from a actual biological person, and you have no reason to defend yourself. You people are evil. We already know what you guys do, so it's already out of the basket. So we're just letting other people know instead of you. So we have this here from Sophia Lorey, a former college soccer player at Vanderbilt University, was invited to the local library in Davis, California on Sunday as part of the forum on fair and safe sport for girls to share her story about being a collegiate athlete. While introducing what she and others would be addressing during the meeting, and before she even began telling her own story, Laura was accused of misgendering people by someone in the crowd. This led others, many wearing masks and others holding trans and gay pride flags, to interject about how transgender women are women. A librarian in the back of the room then jumped into the fray, reminding everyone the California state law recognizes transgender women as women. So what we're going to do here is show you the great, fantastic video of these lunatics trying to silence this woman and to explain about what gender is. Take a look.
Testifying at the Capitol, going through legislation, reading through the bills, urging people what's going to happen on the different bills, as well as I'm a host of a podcast called This Is a Woman Podcast, and the goal of the podcast is women are currently being erased in society, and I want to amplify and share their voices and testimonies. So at today's meeting, you're going to be hearing about the CIF, or here we have Reform Vision. So the goal of the meeting is to empower and protect girls' sports and female athletes, defend the original intent of Title IX, and create a powerful network of coaches, parents, and girls' sports supporters. So you guys are going to hear from quite a few amazing people today talking about Title IX, talking about the physiological advantage of male athletes, talking about emotional and psychological impact on girls when men play on their sports teams. So you guys are going to hear from quite a different few people, but before we start, I just want to share a little bit about myself.
Are you going to misgender people throughout the entire
questions are safe for the end. Thank you very much.
You will be asked to leave if you interrupt during the middle of the meeting. Please respect the library rules.
On misgendering. I'm sorry. Are we allowing misgendering?
Questions are safe for the end, and we'll answer any questions then and talk through things then. Thank you.
This is the library. I do not want any transgender females being called males in sporting events with females. If that happens, it's not following our code of conduct, and we will ask the person who says it to leave it.
Yeah, well, apparently there is that misgendering people is now an act of the devil, and you can't really do anything because you are evil for doing so. Listen, there's going to be people that's going to misgender you and accidentally do so, or what have you. And I don't really see how you can get your dick in a bunch if you're going to have a mental breakdown for misgendering somebody. Again, the reality is that there are differences between men and women, and we have to understand that to move forward as a society. It's really kind of embarrassing and shameful that we have to discuss these simple biological facts to people that are obviously idiots. And it's quite disturbing. Now, you guys are going to say, oh, we care about women's rights. Well, or you care about wanting to be in women's, you want to be in women's, you care about women's sports and stuff like that. Yeah, you care so much that you allow biological men to enter them and make them be kicked out of it. And, of course, women are not going to be able to enter sports at all coming soon. Of course, the rest of the world seems to be opening their eyes a bit and banning some trans individuals, as they should, because, it's just not reality. It doesn't fit any of the textbook, and I think this will be dying out. However, we have some more other crazy things to acknowledge here that we have to see. So, as we said here, Lorey eventually began telling her story before quickly being cut off yet again after starting the very simple fact that current 10-year-old girls cannot live out the same dream as long as men are allowed to compete in women's sports. This led to the librarian to issue her a warning. Lorey adjusted her warning and began starting biological girls and biological men, but that wasn't good enough for the anti-biology extreme left group in the room. Watching the full video is worth every second of your time. Now, I'm going to show you the other video part, which is also quite long, but let me make this statement before I do so. The 10-year-old girls cannot live out the same dream as long as men are allowed to compete in women's sports. And I 100% agree with this. But here's another thing. And the reason why they can't really live out their dreams is because they'll be assaulted. We already know that there's been some transgender people that have assaulted some young girls, and it's been an ongoing thing. I don't see to where this is going to be allowed at all when the girls are being assaulted. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no way in God's given earth, if I ever had a child and it would happen to be a girl, that I would want them to be anywhere near a public school, especially in California, because I don't want to hear the horrible, dreadful news that my daughter was sexually assaulted by a lunatic that was trying to dress as a female, so that way people can feel better about themselves. I'm sorry, I may go full Friday Night Cougars or what have you, because that person is not going to be seeing the light of day. I will be protecting my daughter as much as possible because I think that's what I should be doing as a parent, let alone as a person that failed to protect them. People don't seem to understand when their own daughters or their child are assaulted or killed in any way, they feel powerless, they feel like they messed up somewhere, when it's not entirely their fault. And this is something that people need to start realizing. I do not want this to be happening to people. Again, I don't care what happens to the women in this in general, of they're losing their ability to do sports. Because, again, I don't care. You women signed up for it. You women voted for it, so you get what you deserve. Who don't get what they deserve is the children that have to face their stupid, idiotic choices. And unfortunately, a lot of men are heading more to the left. And I'm sorry if I don't cater to your feelings, women, or I'm saying things very direct, but that's what I do. I say things direct so people can get the full course meal of what I'm talking about. And if you don't like it, then you can hit the road and go to another channel that will cater to your feelings. I don't cater to feelings here, and neither should you. Because at the end of the day, I'm telling reality, and this is what is going on. Now, without further ado, here's the actual full video.
I knew I could achieve as long as I worked hard and put my mind to it. And at 18, I was able to live out my dream. But current 10-year-old girls cannot live out the same dream as long as men are allowed to compete in women's sports. So now, no matter how hard girls work,
Can't do that.
okay, biological men can compete in women's sports.
But which means that you will be absolutely fine. I will give you one warning on that.
Nobody has to be here.
So no matter how hard biological girls work, they will never be able to be physiologically faster and stronger stronger than biological men that are trying to play in biological female sports. Allowing biological men in women's sports does not create an equal playing field, but instead robs young biological girls of their athletic aspirations. When I played college soccer, my freshman year,
We'll shut the entire program down.
Prejudice and hatred is not welcome in Taylor.
please record this because we will be sending this to why am I being asked to leave?
Because you were talking about, you were misgendering, you were talking about men and female
I
sports.
said biological. Here, we have a licensed California attorney right
Yes,
here.
so
Please
am
listen.
I. So am I. That's right. You did right about discrimination. I'm a licensed California attorney.
This is not your presentation, ma'am. This is not your presentation, and you are interrupting my First Amendment rights. I appreciate that you are all showing your First Amendment rights. I am a big proponent of First Amendment rights. I love the fact that you have your sign and that you are here today. But we all have First Amendment rights, whether you believe in what I believe or whether I believe in what you believe. But as an American, I am allowed to have my First Amendment rights just like you are. I am allowed to believe what I believe. I could believe that the moon is made of cheese. And you may believe that the moon is not made of cheese, and that's still okay. If you are interrupting,
By the rules of
the library here should be enforcing their own rules and asking people to leave who are interrupting my First Amendment rights. I will begin again. My name is Erin Friday. I am a licensed California attorney. I am a Democrat of 37 years. I voted for same-sex marriage. My daughter, I think it's time for her to leave. She continued to interrupt. Why are my First Amendment rights not being abided by at a taxpayer? I should not have to be shouting.
This is a taxpayer-funded facility, and
It doesn't
they
matter.
have to follow
If you
California
want
law.
to rent this room, you can rent this room and you can put on a presentation.
You were misgendering.
You cannot compel, you cannot compel my First Amendment rights. You cannot compel speech or belief. We're not calling this person and saying you're a man or you're a woman. We're not talking about a particular person. We're talking about belief, whether we believe in biology or not.
You're
We believe in
They were
biology.
saying males in female sports, okay? If you're a transgender female, a male,
I'm not going to have an
You are
argument.
not
I'm not going to
creating
have an
it.
argument.
I was a speaker at this meeting,
you are
so
not following the orders.
I will leave the building if you can tell me why I need to leave the building.
You leave if she does not leave the building, the program is shut down. We're done.
I will leave the building. Can I also get your name, please? Or yeah, can I get your library? Thank you. Scott Love Library. Thank you very much. All right.
So yeah, that's what we're getting here, is that where they want to silence you and they don't really care about what happens to women, because if they actually did, then, you know, they would actually be against what all that's happening here. But at the end of the day, is that the Sophia Lorey person has more balls and more courageous than those men, all those men in that classroom or in that room in general, and the women that are going against her are actively going to be destroying everything that they hold dear. Of course, a lot of those people seem to be older, which they don't have to seem to be facing those repercussions or consequences of their actions, because again, they don't have to be in sports. They don't have to suffer through this type of lunacy. So it doesn't affect them, which shows another form of matter that it says, if it doesn't affect me, why should I care? Well, great, because so all the other people that are younger than you have to deal with the consequences of your stupid actions. So what we have here is that from Riley Gaines says, this is ridiculous but not shocking. A female athlete silenced for calling a spade a spade. They won't even engage in a civil conversation. Props to this girl for sticking her ground. And she goes on to say that the library is Mary L. Steffens Branch Library located in Davis, California. So that's what we have here. At least that there are people fighting back, and that's what we needed to have. Of course, those people are being all idiots, because even in California, the judges have some type of a decent mind, because we have this here. California court says it's okay to intentionally misgender and dead name trans people, because First Amendment right and freedom of speech. So maybe you trans lunatics, you far left fools, maybe you should start learning about the First Amendment, get out of our country and go to Canada or any other country that doesn't mind silencing your speech, and get the hell out of my country, because I no longer want you people here if you're not even going to listen to reason, or if you people are just going to completely badmouth others or silence others who are speaking their own piece. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, take care.